Hola, my name is Irene and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the literary world and specifically about the Nobel Prize. So I don't know if you have followed the news recently, but you may have seen around that Kang is the author that won the Literary Prize for Literature in 2024. This win is very important for so many reasons, but also it has been a lot of controversy around. So I want to talk about that. We are going to give a bit of context on what has been happening these past few days. So I would recommend you to take a warm drink, a tea, a coffee, whatever you want, and sit because this video might be long. But first, let's put things into perspective a little bit. The Nobel Prize for Literature has been around since the 1901. So quite a few, more than 100 years. The idea behind this prize is to celebrate writers that have impacted the literary world in one way or another. You can say that it's one of the highest prize that one author can get, one of the highest honors, and authors like Gabriel García Márquez, Toni Morrison, or Kazuo Ishiguro have won previously. So it is a big deal. The fact that Kang has won this prize is a big deal. Is one of the few female writers that have been winning this prize. So before her, only 17 female writers have won the Nobel Prize before. So she's number 18. That's like, so if the prize has been around 120 years, that's less than 15%. It's very low. The prize has been very male dominated and also very white dominated. And here is when it comes the problem. Kang has been like the first female Asian that has won the prize, and also the first South Korean author that have ever won the Nobel Prize for Literature. If you don't know Kang, her best known work is The Vegetarian. Is the only book about her that I have read, and is about a woman that decides to go vegetarian as a political act and as a way to fight the patriarchy, and how this decision of becoming a vegetarian affect to everyone around her. So we see with this individual act how the relationship with her husband, her sister, and her sister's husband starts to change, and how everything around her starts to go out of balance. I remember this book as a very important and also weird book. The way it was written surprised me a lot. I read it because I became a vegetarian the year before, so I thought it would be a good book to read. And even though it doesn't give you like tips about vegetarianism or anything like that, I thought that it was a very important book. And obviously, I'm not the only one. She has also more books that I personally haven't read. I heard about Human Acts, a book that I know now that 100% that I want to read, that is about the attacks that happened in Korea in the 80s, and also her experience about that. So even though The Vegetarian is her most celebrated book, I have seen a few people that say that this one is the most shocking one and the most important. So I'm totally going to read it. Her books usually are very complex. They explore a lot of the dark side of nature, of the human being. She has this prose poetic, and her work is written in a very beautiful way. You can go like both sides, or you love it or you hate it. And here is also where all this controversy comes. So when the prize was announced, there were also other nominees that I have read and I could think that they deserve the Nobel. Like, for example, Margaret Atwood, that is her work is amazing, and for sure I would be very happy if she wins the Nobel Prize. But the fact that Kang won is a very important thing, because it means that this prize is finally becoming more diverse. As with everything, these changes scare people and brings controversy between certain population, aka white men. Seen a lot of things going around these days on Twitter and on Instagram, like saying how Han Kang didn't deserve the Nobel Prize, that there were some authors that deserved it more, and now with this woke culture, everything needs to be diverse. And it reminded me a lot of the book Yellowface. I don't know if you have read it, but this book is about a white woman that pretends to be Asian, so she does yellowface, and because she's saying, like, because of the how the world is nowadays, being Asian or being diverse or being from a minority, or being different from like a white person is more celebrated nowadays. If you are like a white woman, you are not going to get nowhere in the literary world, but also it can be extrapolated to other things in life. I found this first, well, hilarious. This that was clearly a parody is like happening in the real world and in the Nobel Prize of Literature. So all these people are saying like, there are authors that deserve it more, but because they are not Asian or they are white, they are not going to win this prize. And that's just crazy. But that also means that we are doing a good thing. And yeah, we are becoming more diverse. Finally, I mean, she's the first author, the first South Korean author that has won the Nobel Prize. If you've seen the list of all the winners from the Nobel Prize from the beginning, you can see a pattern then. And guess what? The pattern is not diverse at all. So you can see that most of them have been, the language that they're writing is originally English. Mostly they are European or American, and most of them are white. This is the pattern, and the pattern is not diversity. Who's shocked about that? I guess nobody. The fact that she is a woman, that her original language is Korean, and she managed to win the Nobel Prize is huge and is a great thing. It means that more diverse voices are coming to us, more diverse experiences are being known around the world. The consequences of this are huge. I'm seeing like a lot of comments going around of, well, a lot of Korean men saying like, yes, he's the only author that has been translated properly, and a lot of Korean men are not translated to English in a good way, so that's why she won. Or that some women buy her books without reading them, and that's why like she read so much, but in Korea many women buy her books but they don't read them, which is, I mean, it's hilarious. Like you can see that is one punch against the patriarchy, and honestly I love it. Where are my popcorn? Because I need them. Another of the comments that I have seen around, I mean, I've seen people saying they have not read the author. I mean, because you can read her and you can think like, okay, it's not for me, it's fine. I have only read like one of her books, and I can tell that she has like a particular style. Maybe it's not like a mainstream author, but that's not a bad thing. I mean, it can be for you or not, and that's okay. But she talks about very important stuff. But there have been people, and yeah, certain type of people that has said like, no, I don't need to read her because I just know she's bad. She's not good enough to win the Nobel Prize. And this is for everything. If you want to give an opinion, first you need to read the book. You cannot say like, no, I just know she's not good. How can you say that? You haven't read the book. You have not expended the time that it requires to judge the book or the author. You can't. If you are going to be like this, I think it's better if you shut up. But like with everything, like in every time that we see a person that is not a man and is not white and is not European or American, there are a lot of people that get angry about that and about this diversity, and they felt like now everything has to be diverse, that everything is woke. Guess what? Times are changing, and I think that diversity is a good thing. We like not so many long ago, we were thinking like, when I was in school, I thought that women didn't write because I never known, they never taught me about any any women writers, like maybe 2 or 3 of them, and they were talking about them, that they are this weird thing, and just because we weren't talking about them. And the same happened. And the excuse that they were putting, like, oh no, but they weren't good enough, not like the men, that's why there are so few female writers. And history told us that that wasn't true. The women writers didn't have the same opportunities as male, and even if they were writing, sometimes they had to write being anonymous, or they have to sign with the husband's name. I mean, we know cases about that. And also we know that the women that could write, maybe they couldn't even publish. Now is happening the same with other diverse authors, like in this case Han Kang. So they can say, like, oh no, it's not good enough, it's just because she's diverse that we are giving her this prize. And I think we already have listened to enough white voices. Like, we know what they are saying, we know what they're talking about. I think it's time we start listening to other perspectives, other people's voices. And that doesn't mean they are not white authors that are really good. Of course they are, but it's time we give opportunities to more people. And yeah, we can have the excuse that, oh no, it's just because she's Korean and she's not white, she's winning the prize. But then that's not true. That's not true. She's an exceptional author. She has talked about so many important things. All of her books carrying this society criticism. She talks about race, about feminism, about inequality, about a lot of important themes. And this has to be valued and has to be praised. Also, I love how she took the prize. So I don't know if you heard about it, but she refuses to celebrate the Nobel Prize. She didn't reject the prize, but she doesn't want to celebrate it because she's saying that there are more important things going on right now, like wars. That's just amazing, because the publicity and the exposition that this prize gives you is huge. Like, everybody will be talking about you. Everybody would like to interview you, to throw parties to you, to celebrate you, and is huge that her reaction was like, yeah, thank you for the prize, but I don't feel like celebrating. There is nothing to celebrate. There is a war going on right now that we are ignoring. I wonder, like, how many male authors could do the same. Probably not that many, no? From my point of view, she's totally worth of the prize. Even if you like her or not, that's your personal opinion. But you cannot ignore that her work is really important. She touches some points in her books that we should pay attention to, and that things are changing. And from my point of view, for the best, because reading diverse is one of the best things that we could do, and is one of the advantages of this globalized world that we lived in. I think it's very boring and very wrong to see things just from one perspective. It's like when we were talking about classics, and the classics were only books from British authors. What about the rest of the world? What is happening there? They weren't writing things that were important enough to be talking about these days. No, it's because they didn't get to us. We didn't have the opportunity to read them. And now we have. Every year we are discovering more authors. I mean, I think Han Kang was one of the first South Korean authors that I had ever read, and probably even Asian. And the fact that right now we have a lot of authors from writing in different languages, from different perspectives, is just amazing. And the fact that now is being celebrated in such an important thing like a Nobel Prize is huge. I think we need to be happy about it, even if you don't like the author. Here's the thing. Literature is very subjective. What moves one person deeply may not come the same way to another one. So the question is, what does it mean to be worthy of the Nobel Prize of Literature? What is the criteria? So they go to authors that have been universally recognized already? Or is it time to celebrate voices that expand our understanding of human experience in new and diverse ways? Because for many readers, Han Kang explored this side of the human nature that is often silenced. She explored about the effects of trauma. She speaks about oppression, and she speaks about individuality in a way that is rare. Her style is so unique that it's so different from what we already seen in other Nobel Prize winners. So she might be not an author for everyone, but we cannot deny that she's been a voice that have impacted a lot of people with her work. So I believe that at the end, even if we think that Han Kang deserve or don't deserve the Nobel Prize, it might come to our own perspective of what we are expecting from literature and from who believe gets to define it. As I said, literature is subjective. We are allowed to love or hate books. That's okay. But we cannot deny that her win challenged us to think about the kind of voices we are celebrating and the kind of stories that we value. So at this point, I would like to know, like, what do you think? What's your opinion? Do you think that she deserved the prize or she didn't? I would love to know. Please leave me in the comments your opinion. I would like to have a discussion about it with respect. I don't want like any arguments about it. If you like her, great. If you don't, then you can move on from this video. For sure, I'll be exploring more her work. So I really want to read Human Acts and also Greek Lessons. I think is another one from her that I would love to read. So yeah, that will be me all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you very, very soon. Ciao!